one event could be simultaneously a test and a temptation? Yes, I think it can be. In fact, perhaps it often is. For example, let's say that you decide to let your 12-year-old spend the night with a friend this next weekend. Well, in the spirit of goodness, you are simply testing their maturity. Will they do well and handle that responsibility well? Of course, when kids get together, that experience could wind up as a temptation. We all know that. We were at parties where it became a temptation instead of a test, or maybe it was both. Let's go to a different example, one that's higher and one that's on our minds a lot. In fact, it's a word that's not a 4-letter word, but that should be. It's 11 letters, coronavirus. I hate it. I try not to say it hardly ever, but we can't get away from it. It's the gift that keeps on giving. Now, when I think of the coronavirus in these terms, I don't think God sent it. I also don't think Satan sent it. Here's the point. I don't know either one of those statements is true, but it just doesn't make sense to me personally. It's beyond my pay grade to understand either one of those things. God knows it, and to my knowledge, God has not told anyone. But God wants this experience to build up your faith and not to tear you down. God wants this experience to strengthen you and not weaken you. God wants through this experience to build into you what the Apostle Paul calls the fruit of the Spirit in Galatians 5. That is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. That's what God wants to use this experience to do in your life and in my life. But do not be mistaken. Satan is going the whole opposite direction. Satan wants this experience to tear down your faith, to weaken your moral character and your integrity, and to increase not the fruit of the Spirit, but what the Apostle Paul calls in Galatians 5, the opposite of the fruits of the Spirit, which are the works of the flesh. Can I just read these to you so you remember what Satan seeks to do in all of our lives through something like the coronavirus or anything else that is difficult? Sexual immorality, impurity, lustful pleasures, idolatry, hostility, quarreling, jealousy, outbursts of anger, selfish ambition, dissension, envy, evil, drunkenness, and that's just 13. Did any of those have an uptick in your life after coronavirus hit in March of 2020? For a lot of us, a whole lot of that had an uptick. Why? Because Satan wanted to use it for his purposes. Now, nobody knows when this silly virus is going to calm down.